Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm back on a challenge. What's the challenge? Tom O'Neill has set a very interesting challenge. Challenge he's set basically is to go out with our normal cameras. We now know that I've upgraded to the 5D Mark III. We need to put this into JPEG. We need to put it on certain settings and just take images without any editing whatsoever. So basically turning this into a film camera. I've got a bit of a surprise for you, Tom. I'm not going to be using my 5D Mark III. I'm actually going to be using this Canon EOS 600 film camera instead. When you come up with the idea, I've sort of done a bit of digging around on eBay, and I actually purchased a fully working, very good condition Canon EOS 600 and a couple of films, 36 exposure films, one of which is already loaded into here for just over 20 quid. So I thought it was worth it just to sort of get your reaction, really. I'm aware that Mark Kelly is also going to be using a film camera that he owns, and I don't know whether a few others might do this as well, but I thought, well, it would certainly make it a lot more interesting if I actually used a film camera. This one, you can actually change lenses, so all my lenses from my 5D Mark III fit on this, which basically means that I can shoot the moon. I can shoot macro. This does long exposure, and I'm gonna look at all the different aspects of photography that I enjoy and see if I can't get a shot with this. I don't think this will be too long a video. There's not going to be no real B-roll, I don't think, and hopefully tonight it'll be a clear enough night for me to get some shots of the moon with this, with the 100 to 400 lens on it. Is this cheating? I don't think so. It is a film camera. I can't do no editing, and that's what basically what the spec was. So I'm going to see what I can take shots of. This comes with the 28 to 90. I would assume kit lens that this would have had on it at the start. It's in immaculate condition. It really is. And it's got all sorts of various functions written on the back of the camera. It does landscape, sports, quick shots, portraits, close-ups, indoor standard. Even the lens had a protector on the front cover when I got it. So yes, quite excited to see what I can come up with this. So yeah, let's see what we can find. Okay, so Tom's brief was pretty simple. Take shots using using settings in your main camera and no editing whatsoever afterwards. So what I thought I would do is I would take a shot with my 5D Mark III and a shot with the film camera, and then I can put both up side by side as we go through. I'm not going to. He did say that the exposure count could be sort of 36 exposures. I'm not going to make you sit through 36 different photos and all what goes behind the scenes of it. I'm going to probably do 4 or 5, maybe 6. I'm going to take quite a few with the film camera, and I should put those up in between as well. So don't worry, the film isn't going to go on. The video isn't going to go on for too long. So I'm going to take the shot with my 5D III. I'm going to swap over and take the shot with the film camera, and then I'll put shots up together. I'm taking some photos of a certain type of flower. I forget the name. I'll find out the name and I'll put it sort of down the bottom of the screen here. But they're a very pretty flower, very detailed flower, and one of my wife's favourites. So I'm going to take a shot with the 5D III, swap over the camera, and take a shot with the film camera. Remember that I can swap lenses, so I can still use my macro lens on the film camera. So that's what I should be doing. Okay, so I swapped the cameras over. I've now got the Canon 600, EOS 600 here. I put the macro lens on the front of this. I put this into manual mode. I put the settings as they were basically on my 5D Mark III. The film is already ISO 400. F10 for 4 seconds. And hopefully that should be the shot. Okay, so that was using quite a long exposure already set. I can sort of cheat a little bit, I suppose, because obviously I'm using the 5D3 first, so I can sort of just transfer the settings to this. 5D3 I can load up onto Lightroom, I can do what I like with it. With this, I can't do that. What you get is what we get, and we'll just have to wait and see, and it's, I should be quite excited to see what they come out like. Okay, so let's go and find something else. Okay, so we've come out into the garden. I'm going to try a few shots at a handheld. Back on with the 5D Mark III. Down to f5, that's giving me 1/2000th of a second, so quite bright. Focusing on this yellow rose that's just come out on one of the plants. Handheld this time, ISO 400. So we get. Okay, now this one only goes to f5.6. I can't go to f5. 1/2000th of a second, handheld, autofocus. It's that same shot. Okay, just a weighing game now. So we've been out in the garden, taking a couple of handheld macro shots. We've been inside taking a couple of longer exposure macro shots. I'm going to leave it there for today. We're going out with Jess over the bank holiday weekend, at which point I'll be taking both cameras with me, and I'll be able to swap the lenses about as we're out and about. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll catch up with you next time we're out. Okay, so we've come out to Stanton Woods to finish the second part of this challenge. Done a few shots at home, as you've seen, but now I want to take a few shots out in the field. I want to see if I can get a long exposure as well. I can change lenses, as you know, and I can use the filters. So see if I can get a long exposure, something to add into the mix. Okay, so a couple of shots there, or one shot there, of the sculptured fallen tree. F5.6, 1/500th of a second at ISO 400. I've obviously taken the shot with my 5D3. And I've also taken the shot with the EOS 600 film camera as well. So I'll be able to put them side by side, see what they look like. Go find some else. Okay, so the beauty of using the film camera that I've actually got is the fact that I can change the lenses from my 5D3 over to the film camera that I've got, and they fit perfectly well. I can't actually use the lens that came with the film camera on my 5D3, but I wouldn't really want to anyway. It's only a kit lens that came with it. So 16 to 35 is the one I'm using today, along with the 100 to 400. The film camera that I use, or that I've purchased, actually shoots 5 frames per second. So if I see anything flying around in the sky, fingers crossed, I might even get a decent shot of that. I'm not going to bore you through 36 exposures used on the film camera. I think the video will go on for way too long, so I'm going to pick out half a dozen of the best that I get and share them with you along the way. So just taking that one, just taking the few that we took from home. We're going to be working our way through to the lake slowly but surely, and if I see anything along the way, we'll give it a go. Okay, now I stopped on this track. There's a nice row of trees, sort of all lit up by the sun. The sun's coming through the trees up above us, and it's lighting up the bark and the branches and the trunks and all that really quite nicely. It's quite a dappled light. So I've taken the shot quickly with the 5D Mark III using the 16 to 35 lens. I swapped it over to the 600. I'm going to put the settings through this. Obviously I can edit the 5D Mark III version. I can't edit this. So back of that screen it looks fine. So I'll copy the settings onto this. Should be good. Okay, so I'm trying to vary the shots as much as I can. Macro shots, landscape shots, just normal everyday snapshots. But we're working our way around to the lake and hopefully see if we can do some long exposures. Not much going on at this part of the river. It's usually a good indication when it's quiet here that the overflow on the main lake is pretty dry, which will be unfortunate. So I'm going to make our way around there, but I'm not holding out much hope. Just as we thought, nothing coming over the waterfall. It's just the overflow from somewhere else, just working into the river. Nothing, not even a drop coming over the waterfall from the lake, which is unfortunate because that was going to be my long exposure shot. So I'm going to have to find something else. Okay, so we've been sat on the edge of the lake, snapping away, taking a few different shots with different lenses and both the cameras. So hopefully I've managed to catch something. We never saw the buzzard again, so I'm going to sign off there. So I'm going to sign off there from here. I'm actually going to send the film off to be developed, have a look through them, get the ones that I've got off my 5D Mark III printed as well, so I can put them side by side, and then I can talk through them with you back at home. So I'll see you there.
So I'll have to take you into the room.
Oh.
Yeah.